Ousmane Dembele just won the Ballon d'Or. But where was Raphinha? Sitting in 5th place? So disrespected. So today I'm taking over Raphinha's career to finally win him the Ballon d'Or and make him the world's best player. And this is Raphinha, an FC26, 89 overall, 28 years old. His stats are looking incredible. And as he got 34 goals and 26 assists last season, he somehow finished in 5th place of the Ballon d'Or, completely disrespected. However, as good as he is, if we ever want him to win the Ballon d'Or, he's gonna have to go ahead and leave FC Barcelona, as he is stuck behind the likes of Lamine Yamal and even Pedri, who's finally getting the plaudits he deserves. So as Raphinha has been transfer listed, let's see what clubs come in for him. We need to make sure wherever he goes, it's a big club where he can eventually play in Europe. And more importantly, he's the main man. And straight away, Raphinha has received 2 offers. The first one being from Juventus. He could be playing for the greatest Italian team of all time. And the second offer that's come in is actually Man United. They may be in complete shambles. However, if Raphinha can go there and return them back to the very top, he can surely become the world's best player. But I'm curious if we can get more offers. And the third offer has come in for Raphinha, and it is from Chelsea Football Club. They are back in the Champions League and their squad is looking pretty strong. However, they already have a main man in Cole Palmer. So out of all these 3 offers, which is the best for Raphinha? And the club Raphinha has decided on is Manchester United, as he is now joining the Red Devils and is going to attempt to drag them out of their ruts. However, in order for Raphinha to win the Ballon d'Or, he's gonna have to go ahead and rank 1 in world football, and currently he's ranking in 5th place. As throughout his career, he's gonna have to complete challenges to pass up the next person. And the person directly above him in 4th place is Mohamed Salah. And the only way to pass him up in the Ballon d'Or rankings is to go ahead and win the Premier League Golden Boot. And as Raphinha joins the starting 11, gonna play in that left wing. Winning the Golden Boot in the Prem is not gonna be easy, competing with the likes of Erling Haaland, Mohamed Salah, and Victor Gyökeres. But not only is he competing with other opponents, even with his own teammates in Bruno Fernandes, Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, and even brand new signing Benjamin Sesko. But Raphinha needs to go ahead and do it if he ever wants to move up the rankings and win the Ballon d'Or. And of course, if we want Raphinha to win the Golden Boot, we have converted him to a left winger, and we're gonna have to go ahead and improve his finishing. His shooting is currently at an 84, but with the inside forward row, that could go up as high as a 90. But it's time to find out if Raphinha has what it takes, as he's making his Prem debut against Arsenal. He will be facing arguably the best defensive team in the league, but he needs to go ahead and prove he could compete with the likes of Mo Salah and Victor Gyökeres. However, Raphinha's debut did not start off well, as Arsenal went ahead and scored 2 great goals. And Raphinha took chance after chance trying to put the ball in the back of the net, until finally he had a golden opportunity. But here comes Kobe Mainoo with a through ball into Cunha, who lays it off to Raphinha, who's still looking for his first Premier League goal with a finish, and it goes in top corner. After a couple chances missed, Raphinha opens his Premier League account. However, Raphinha's goal wasn't enough to start a comeback, as Arsenal put another one in, and the referee has blown the whistle. Raphinha may have gotten his first goal, but this showed the true level of Man United and the true level of the Premier League. Raphinha has a lot of work to do to win the Ballon d'Or here at United. And after Raphinha's debut, the Golden Boot race is already hot, as Jamie Giddens, Doku, Martinelli, and Watkins already have 3+ goals. Raphinha needs to get used to the Premier League very quickly if he ever wants to pass Mohamed Salah. If you guys think Raphinha will win the Ballon d'Or United, subscribe right now. But you know what? It's very hard to score against Arsenal. So let's go ahead and see how he does against an easier team in Burnley. And let's just say Raphinha started off the game well, scoring 2 goals with his left foot. And in the final minutes of the game, he had a chance to get his hat-trick. And now it's Matheus Cunha with a through ball to Raphinha. One last chance to go ahead and get his hat-trick in the Prem. And no, it's a save by Roif, man. But regardless, the game comes to an end, and Raphinha adds 2 more goals into his Premier League account. It's gonna be tough winning the Golden Boot this season. And as Raphinha sits in 5th place for the Golden Boot race, let's go ahead and go through the rest of the season and see how Raphinha fares in his first year at United. And halfway through the season, Raphinha has 7 goals and 3 assists, going up to a 90 overall. But there's a problem, as he is not even the highest goal scorer in his team, behind Mbeumo. And in terms of the top goal scoring charts, Ollie Watkins is leading it by 15 goals, while Isaac, Colomwani, and Haaland all have above 10, putting Raphinha somewhere along the lines of like 15th place. He needs to do a better job if he wants to win that Golden Boot to pass Mohamed Salah. Salah. And I'm just curious, is Raphinha playing in the right position? I'm seriously debating moving Raphinha to the number 10 position and giving him that shadow striker role so he can go ahead and score a bunch of goals of the chances that Cunha, Sesko, and Mbeumo create. But you know what? Let's give him a goal against Leeds United, as he will be playing in that number 10 position. Can he score more goals in the center attacking mid? And now it's Benjamin Sesko on the ball, through ball into Raphinha. His first game as a number 10 here at Man United. Can he finish? And yes, he does. He makes it 1-0 against Leeds. And after his first goal, Raphinha went ahead and put a second away, as he had the opportunity to score a hat-trick in the first half. But here comes Raphinha, the chance to get a first-half hat-trick on his weak foot, and he gets it. His first game as number 10, he gets a hat-trick. However, after his hat-trick, he wasn't done yet, as he put one more past the Leeds United keeper. And the whistle has been blown. Raphinha collects his match ball. I think we have found the position that's going to help him win the golden boot. So as Raphinha is now at cam, I hope I'm not making a mistake. We're going to give him the shadow striker role. Let's hope he can win the golden boots to pass Mohamed Salah in the Ballon d'Or rankings. And what a turnaround for Raphinha. 27 goals and 6 assists at the end of the season. Still at a 90 overall. The question is, did he win the golden boot? And yes, Raphinha has done it by 2 goals, overtaking Watkins, as he completes that challenge and takes over Mohamed Salah in the Ballon d'Or rankings. As the next player he has to go ahead and overtake is Raphinha, and in order to do so, he has to go ahead and win the Premier League title. And boys, I cannot lie, he is very far, as Man United finished in a lowly 8th place. I think next season we need to make some signings to help Raphinha and United climb up the table. And of course, Raphinha doesn't win the Ballon d'Or, but Vinicius Jr. does. I'm sure at some point of his career, he's gonna have to complete a challenge to overtake Vinny. And to kick off season number 2, this is what the Man United side is looking like. It's nowhere near looking like a Prem winning side. But of course, as you can see, Mason Mount is now the center midfielder, and that's because Bruno Fernandes had decided to leave the club for 88 million to Arsenal, leaving a huge gap in that center mid department. If we want Raphinha to overtake Vitinha and win the Premier League, we need to make some signings. We definitely need to bring in a center mid to replace Bruno Fernandes, as well as 2 world-class fullbacks, and potentially another world-class center back or goalkeeper to compete with Euro and Lamens. However, someone to keep in mind is Benjamin Sesko. He may be an 84 overall, but last season he scored under 10 goals. If he doesn't perform, we might need to sign a world-class striker in the future. First, I went ahead and sold a bunch of deadwood here for Man United to fund our 4 new transfers. And those 4 new transfers includes wonderkid Warren Zaire-Emery for 52 million. And for 55 million, it's another young prospect in Lewis Huff from Newcastle. But of course, we also needed a right back. So for 42 million, we bring in Denzel Dumfries from Inter Milan. And finally, the biggest transfer we made for 72.9 million, we bring in Eder Militao. I just hope all these transfers can help Raphinha win the Premier League to climb up the Ballon d'Or rankings. And now taking a look at the squad that Raphinha has around him, I definitely think this is a team that could maybe fight for the Prem title. But I think for sure they might finish in the UCL spot this season. And in terms of his development plan, it seems like he has not mastered the shadow striker role yet, so we're giving him that this season. And well, it's time to find out if he can compete for the Premier League. As of next, he'll be facing Chelsea Football Club, a team that will also be competing for that Prem title. And well, this game against Chelsea proved that United are not good enough yet, as within 20 minutes, Chelsea put 3 past Man United, as Raphinha created an opportunity for Sesko that he missed. However, Raphinha was able to get a goal. Yes, let's go Raphinha, that's 1 goal. Let's kickstart this remontada. But sadly, the remontada wasn't meant to be. We lose 3-1. Man United might not be in the title race this season. Raphinha has already won his golden boot, so maybe in the future, if the team performs better with Raphinha on the left, we might have to swap him back there. Let's go ahead and see how Man United are doing in January. And we are now halfway through the season, and 11 goals and 7 assists for Raphinha. Currently at a 91 overall, still the best player in this team, while Brian Mbeumo is also doing his job. However, Benjamin Sesko and Matheus Cunha have been underwhelming. Maybe Cunha shouldn't be a left winger, while Sesko is really struggling here at United. But the good thing is, Man United are sitting in 5th place, but we're 12 points behind the Premier League title race. And I have a feeling it's due to the lack of involvement from Matheus Cunha and Benjamin Sesko. So I think we're gonna have to go ahead and make a couple changes to the starting 11. First of all, I think Raphinha has to go ahead and sacrifice himself a less amount of goals so Cunha can play in his center attacking mid position. However, when it comes to Benjamin Sesko, I think it's time to sign a brand new striker. However, if I do not find anybody that fits, Brian Mbeumo can easily move up top and we sign a world-class right winger instead. So let me go ahead and look for some options. And I think I have found the 2 perfect options to go ahead and put Raphinha United hopefully back in the title race. The first one being Julian Alvarez, an 88 overall, 26 years old, still playing for Atletico. And the second option is Rodrigo, still at Real Madrid, but of course he struggles to get in the starting 11. But of course the question is, who is the better option? Well, of course we want to choose the option that will score more goals for us, because that's what we're lacking with Benjamin Sesko. So we're using the new addition to check the La Liga top goal scorers. And it seems as of this season, Julian Alvarez has 7 goals, while Rodrigo is nowhere to be seen in the top 25. However, if we check last season, Julian Alvarez still has more goals than Rodrigo, as he got 19. And once again, Rodrigo was not in the top 25. It seems like the obvious option has been decided. So for 150 million, we're bringing in Julian Alvarez to go ahead and move Benjamin Sesko to the bench. And hopefully the Argentine can get us back into the Premier League title race to win the Premier League, so Raphinha can pass Raphinha. So as Julian joins the starting 11, Raphinha is back to a left wing and actually went up a +1 to a 92. And Cunha is back at a center attacking mid position. So what better way to test things out against first place Newcastle United? Can Julian Alvarez addition go ahead and beat the team at the top of the table? And the game against Newcastle has kicked off. Raphinha sends a through ball straight away into Julian Alvarez with a finish. And 11 minutes in, the new signing already makes it 1-0. However, Alvarez wasn't done just yet, as he got 2 more goals in the first half to complete a first half hat-trick. Oh my days, Alvarez has gotten a first half hat-trick. We definitely made the right signing. But in the second half, it got even better, as he put 2 more goals past Newcastle United. 5 goals in 1 game for Julian. He's already beaten Benjamin Sesko's record for this season. And now as Julian collects his match ball, I think we could get back into this title race. And oh my days, boys, we're on the final day of the season, and there's 4 teams fighting for the Premier League title. But Newcastle have the advantage, while Man City have 3 more goal difference than United. So if Newcastle lose and City win, City will be winning the Premier League title. And it's the biggest showdown in Premier League history, as we're facing Sheffield. We're simming this game. It should be an easy victory, but can we win the Prem title? And we win 2-1. Raphinha gets a double. But the question is, did Newcastle and City drop points? But as Raphinha is in the team of the season, did we win the Prem title? And no, it went to Newcastle. They did not drop points. So Raphinha still remains in 4th place. It's not a failure just yet, but because we finished in the top 4, we have unlocked the last 2 positions. And in order to go ahead and go to 2nd place, he needs to go ahead and pass Vinicius Jr. and Ousmane Dembele by becoming the UCL top goal scorer. And to go ahead and become number 1, he has to pass Lamine Yamal by winning the Champions League. And because Raphinha is about to turn 31 years old, next season will be the last chance he gets to win the Ballon d'Or, because he's gonna start decreasing in overall. Can he complete all those challenges to overtake the number 1 spot and hopefully not get robbed again? But at least at the end of the season, he did get 23 goals and 16 assists, while Brian Mbeumo did amazing. And Julian Alvarez was just a perfect signing, while Cunha really picked up his numbers in the second half of the season. And for the first time in his United career, Raphinha will be playing Champions League football in season number 3. And to be honest, this team is looking absolutely incredible. I think he can go ahead and become the top goal scorer while winning the Champions League, as long as we sign another world-class center back. And I believe he'll become the top goal scorer, because now he is the penalty taker as well as the free kick taker. So for 105 million, we're bringing in an 85 rated Paul Kubarsi to play alongside Eder Militao. And I just hope that Raphinha can complete every challenge. But if he completes all of them, surely that's the Ballon d'Or secured. And now, as this is a starting 11, let's go ahead and see how Raphinha does this season. And so far, halfway through the season, things are looking great, as Raphinha has 22 goals and 8 assists in 30 appearances, now at a 94 overall. And while the rest of the side is looking pretty decent, however, there's some terrible news. Our captain Matheus Cunha has submitted a transfer request, and better yet, has already accepted an offer from Nottingham Forest, meaning he'll be leaving the side. So as Matheus Cunha leaves for Nottingham Forest, the good thing is we're sitting in first place, 6 points ahead of Chelsea. But in terms of the Champions League, we barely finished in an automatic spot, finishing in 7th. That is not good. But in terms of Raphinha's Ballon d'Or season, he's the 2nd top goal scorer of the Prem, as well as the 2nd top goal scorer in the Champions League. As things are looking good so far, as we're on track on completing every single challenge and surpassing some of the best players in world football. But of course, now we need a world-class center attacking mid if if we want to go ahead and finish the job and win Raphinha the Ballon d'Or. And I think I have found the perfect option in Franco Mastantuono, who's already at an 86 overall at just 20 years old. So for exactly 100 million, we're bringing in Franco Mastantuono, and hopefully he can be the man to continue to create for Raphinha, so he can win the Premier League and Champions League and become the UCL top goal scorer to hand him the Ballon d'Or. And in the round of 16, we are facing Borussia Dortmund. And as per usual, we simulate the first leg and play the second leg. If need be, how's the first leg gonna go? It's a 2-1 victory, as Raphinha picks up a double, adding more goals to his tally. And the second leg against Dortmund started off well, as Raphinha put us 1-0 up and Franco Mastantuono scored his first United goal. However, Dortmund did get one back with Chukwuemeka, but thankfully Mastantuono gets his brace to finish off the game 3-1. However, it did not stop there, as against Bilbao over 2 legs, we won the first leg 2-1 as Raphinha scored another goal. But in the second leg we drew, still going on to the semis, where we'll be facing Man City. And in terms of the Premier League, we're running away with it, man. 9 points ahead of Liverpool. However, they do have a game in hand, so it's not completed just yet. And it seems like Raphinha has equalized Ferran Torres' record. However, Barca have been knocked out, so as long as nobody else goes crazy, Raphinha will win the Golden Boot. But of course, we must win the Champions League, as it's time for the first leg against City, as Mastantuono is suspended. Let's see how this first leg goes, and it's a 1-1 draw, as Raphinha misses a penalty. But we have arrived in Old Trafford for the second leg. We must pull out this victory over our Manchester rivals. And now Zaire Emery on the ball straight away, gives it to Julian Alvarez, who holds it up, gives it to Franco Mastantuono, through ball into Julian, and it goes in straight away. Julian scores a goal against his old teammates to put us 1-0 up. And now here come United on the counter-attack. Mastantuono picks up the ball, through ball all the way into Raphinha, looking to switch it all the way into Brian Mbeumo, who cuts inside, has a finish, and it goes to save by Donnarumma. And now it's Julian Alvarez into Raphinha, 1v1 against Donnarumma. He puts it away. He gets his 13th UCL goal, taking the lead. We're dominating Man City. Julian Alvarez is holding up the play, gives it to Raphinha, who's 1v1 against Gianluigi Donnarumma to make it 3, and it's over. 14 goals in the Champions League. We're going to the final. And yes, the whistle has been blown. We're going to the final to face either one of the Milan clubs, as Raphinha is getting closer and closer to winning the Ballon d'Or. And we have reached the end of the season. 41 goals and 18 assists for Raphinha, now at a 95 overall, while the rest of the squad is doing absolutely incredible. No wonder we're in a UCL final. And in the UCL final, we will be facing AC Milan, which is not gonna be easy. But the question is, did he go ahead and win the Premier League? And is he still leading the UCL Golden Boot race? And there we have it. Raphinha has won the Premier League, overtaking Vitinha. And boys, Raphinha is still leading the Golden Boot race. And with Maximilian Bayer with only 6 goals, it's pretty much confirmed that Raphinha has won the UCL Golden Boot, taking him above Vinicius and Ousmane Dembele in the Ballon d'Or rankings, leaving him only to win the Champions League to overtake them all, to give him the best chance of winning the Ballon d'Or. But beating Milan ain't gonna be easy, as this is the team they've built. May not have the biggest names, but they probably are very high rated, as they've won 3 out of their last 5 games. But the question is, can Raphinha finish the job and win his first ever Champions League trophy? And 2 minutes in, here comes Julian Alvarez, gives it to Franco Mastantuono, gives a through ball into Raphinha, takes a touch, has a Joe-driven finish, and it goes in. 5 minutes in, Man United take a 1-0 lead. And it's all thanks to Raphinha. It's Christopher Nkunku on the ball once again, into Rabiot, into Bayer, with a shot, Lamens. Brilliant save, man. But AC Milan continue to attack. Maximilian Bayer with a shot, Lamens again, keeping us in. But right before halftime, here come United. One last attack. Julian gives it to Franco Mastantuono, through ball into Raphinha, takes a fat touch, 1v1 against the Milan keeper. It goes in again. That's a brace for Raphinha. That could be the Ballon d'Or crowning moment. And the whistle has been blown. Those 2 Raphinha goals were enough to deliver United a Champions League. And as Raphinha lifts the trophy, he overtakes Yamal as the #1 player in the world. But the question is, did he win the Ballon d'Or? And yes, Raphinha has done it, winning the Ballon d'Or. No robbery happening today. And if you guys enjoyed this video, click on the screen and watch me take over United for the next 10 seasons Extreme Edition.